take today, stay on today's calorie intake, what I planned for the day. And that's the thing I did, is every morning I planned my meals for the day. And that's what I really stuck with for predominantly most of the time. There were days I didn't. You know, you go to the office, they have pizza, they have donuts and all this. And I just would really weigh in my mind which is more important, eating that and staying the same weight, or gaining or losing my weight, and taking hold of this day and improving myself one day at a time. So yes, definitely, you know, you're going to fall off that wagon. The thing is getting back up and getting back on it. And don't, like this time, it took me a long time to lose 100 pounds, but that was the thing. It took me a long time to gain it, although gaining is so much easier than losing. But it didn't happen overnight, and neither is losing weight. And I said, when I get there, I will get there.
Hey, I want to go back to something that I think you said your sister said, or somebody said about, I hate working out. What I always tell people is, you know, look at exercise as like recess.
Right.
Remember when we were kids, how excited we got about recess?
Right.
You have to find something that you enjoy, and it doesn't have to be an hour type program. I think a lot of times people have this misconception of exercise being, I have to work out for an hour, I got to do this. Take baby steps, build in it. I'm sure you didn't jump into that hour program right off the bat.
Oh no,
You
there
probably
was no
started
way.
20 minutes?
Right, I started the 1 mile, yes. And I also have a treadmill, and I have a 2-weight system at home. So I would do my treadmill and maybe do it 10, 15 minutes every morning type thing. And then I'd started getting into the videotapes and trying different ones. Some Pilates, you know, type thing, which I haven't quite gotten a handle on, but I want to do some more of that. But the walking is the thing that I found. It's the easiest thing to do.
Now you
know,
said
still
2
lose.
weights, so you have 2 sets of dumbbells, or?
Well, it's a 2-seat weight system where I have actually the pull down, the legs, and the raises. And
that's something you just picked up at a sporting goods store?
I actually bought from Sears.
Okay.
And I said I needed to do some weights. And one of the reasons why I like to do weights is because it makes you look thinner and leaner. I had done a program for this tops comparing the size of a pound of lean meat or muscle to a pound of fat, and the difference is amazing. Your fat is double in bulk. Women had the concept that if you do weights, that they're going to bulk out like a man. Our hormones are not the same, and so we don't bulk out, but we do get leaner and thinner. And the other reason is our father was a 24/7 care person for the last 4 of his years of his life, and so I physically would have to move him in and out of bed into the wheelchair. And when he passed away, I noticed that my muscles were kind of like not quite so toned. I said, I don't like that feeling. I'd much rather be toned and have that muscle mass there than I would the flabby. So that's what I did.
Wow.
So, and the other thing that we had discussed is, of course, when you lose 80 to 100 pounds, you're going to have excess skin. I had gone to a surgeon and was talking with him and had told him I'd like to lose 20 more pounds of weight, and he said, you do not have any more fat to lose, but it was all excess skin. Recently, matter of fact, February 22nd, I had skin removal, and he had taken 5 pounds of skin off. So,
and was that primarily in your arms?
It was my arms, belly, and legs.
Okay.
And so most of it was in the belly.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's
I'm
a good point to bring up, because I think a lot of women, especially, have that concern. You know, if they have stretch marks from being larger and their skin starts getting loose, what is available? So when you went through that, was it one surgical procedure that you had?
Yes, he did it all in one procedure.
Okay.
It was a 4-hour surgery, and he did all 3 areas
okay.
at one time. So.
And are you healing fine from that?
I am healing. You know, I'm still tender, and there's a suit, a special suit that I have to wear called a compression suit that will help compress that swelling out of your body where they've damaged that tissue. And what I see so far, I'm very pleased with. I don't have my wings when I hold my arms up, so I kind of like that. So call it vanity or whatever. But you know, I felt that I worked really hard to lose my 100 pounds. That was just kind of my last reward of saying I made my goal and I want to look my very best. And to me, it was a discouragement to see that excess flab hanging there, skin, and know that there was no exercise or amount of dieting or losing more weight that I would do to get that off. It had to be surgically removed if I wanted to look better.
And what are the risks of that, you know, as far as that procedure? Were you completely under as they did that?
Yes, it was a general anesthetic.
Okay.
And of course, in this kind of removal, they don't cut the muscle, so it's not quite as bad, you know, to take that skin off. You're still very tender.
Yeah.
There's a muscle in your stomach area that some doctors do and some don't, that they actually will stretch down and reattach, which they did in me, and that's kind of painful, you know, sore.
Yeah.
So I lost my midriff by him doing that. I said, okay, I like that.
Okay.
And it makes you a lot flatter by doing that, but and that just kind of tones everything back up in the muscle, because that all stretches, whether a woman is just from being overweight or having children, that will stretch out.
You know, in your whole story, what really, I mean, there's so many things that just shine, but the commitment that you made. And, you know, what gets me, part of our culture, I think part of the problem is commitment is just almost a dirty word. We just turn our backs on our commitment so quickly, and it affects, I think, our children, because everyone's watching. And when you make a commitment to something, part of it is you are going to fail, but get back up. And what you accomplish is just, you know, the commitment must have been really, really strong. And I want to encourage people, you know, to make the commitment and realize how your life is going to change. I mean, are you enjoying life more now?
I do too, especially to be able to go into a store and have people, sales clerks, look at you and say, oh, you need to go to size 12 or 14. I wore a 22, 24. Wow. So mentally, I'm still fat.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to think that, wow, I can get into a size 12 and sometimes a 10. It just, and I think I shared with you in our pre-conversation, this one time I went to a store and got into a size 10. And I went out to my car and I was crying.
Oh, bless your heart. Yeah.
Because, and I gave God the praise, because it's just like, wow, I can't believe that I'm this size. You know, it's because I've been heavy all my life.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. And like I said, I'm not going back to that size. It's a lifestyle change, and that's what I want to encourage people to do. It's a lifestyle change. You cannot look at it as a diet. A diet is to attain a goal and return back to the way you used to eat. If you go back to the way you used to eat, you're going to regain your weight. Yeah. And I know I can't. And there are things that I have taken out of my diet program, if you want to call it that. There's certain things like starches or high carb type things. Yep. I do eat a lot more meats, vegetables. Do I eat potatoes and bread and like that sometimes? Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes I want some, but it's not a daily thing. Yeah. So, you know, you just really have to stop looking at it as a diet, but as a lifestyle change, and that you're going to make it the rest of your life.
You control your food plan. Your food plan doesn't control you.
Exactly. And, and we usually I always said my buds get in my way, because, wow, this tastes good, and then I want to eat more, and your stomach's full, and you're still eating. Wow. You know, so it really has to be a lifestyle change.
Well, you're definitely a source of encouragement for a lot of people, and you've done it all the healthy way, the right way, and your motive was pure. It was your brother's diabetes. Right. Was serving God. It wasn't just vanity. Right. Okay. And don't get me wrong. I think everyone wants to look as good as they can, but if that's it, sometimes that's kind of shallow. So if we have a deeper, stronger motive, so you know, look at what's going to motivate you. Look at your motive. Your kids being a legacy for the people you love, and dig down to a better motive, something that's really going to strengthen your commitment, and commit, right?
Exactly. It has to be a commitment. Yeah. I mean, just like you commit to anything else. So if you're going to commit to your children, your husband, I should say your spouse, it's not a one-day commitment. I mean, you do have to daily commit, you know, but it has to be intended long-term.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you are a beautiful lady, and it's a privilege to have you sharing your story. And I know Sheila's story is going to motivate a lot of people out there. TOPS program at the church.
Countryside Nazarene on Tuesday nights. We weigh in at 6 o'clock, and the meeting's at 7.
They do that all the time?
Yes, every week. And then also there's one in South Lebanon on Monday nights, and I'm not sure of their times. Okay,
so if you're looking for some encouragement, you'll probably see Sheila down there. So, you know, we all need some help. We all need some encouragement, some love, okay?
Definitely. Support.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. Okay? It's a pleasure.
I really trust it's going to be a blessing for a lot of people out there. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.